You tell me, who is your daddy and what does he do?
My dad is a communist Marxist professor from Berkeley, California, and even he thinks I'm a radical.
My dad gives money to people that doesn't have money. My dad is a gynecologist and he looks at vaginas all day long.
What's up, guys? Boy Benny. Remember this guy? Yeah. This like a human walking corpse was actually called the resident of the White House for a little while. And it's so funny. Can you imagine? Look at how bad he was doing in the polls against Donald Trump. This is Donald Trump's chance of winning the Electoral College versus Joe Biden. No one was riding with Biden. Look at how bad Biden's polls were doing. Wait a second. Hold on. My producer's telling me something. Oh, these are Kamala's polls now. Kamala's actually doing as bad as Joe Biden was doing. Oh, no. It's bad. Look at that. It's just as bad. It's as bad as Biden. We predicted that Kamala Harris would eventually, because the fundamentals of the race haven't changed at all, and because everything is terrible and in shambles in this country, and some people are dumb, but most people aren't so stupid that like they're goldfish forget how to breathe, can't breathe unaided kind of stupid. And they'll remember that Kamala Harris ran with Joe Biden. Joe Biden is senile, has dementia, mental handicap. And so therefore Kamala Harris was kind of like responsible for all of this, right? And people are probably getting angry at that. Look at this. Trump's chances of winning all the swing states are rocking, baby. Kamala Harris even saying we're the underdogs. He has the advantage to win the election. Good. Get used to it. Top pollster claims that the Kamala Harris honeymoon period is officially over. I don't think anyone really had a honeymoon with Kamala Harris. If you know what I mean, the Kamala Harris honeymoon is officially over, even when Kamala Harris does cringe campaign videos that are so performative and faked. So like so much of Kamala's life, they just come off just terrible.
To give you a bag of pretzels to take back.
Give me a bag of pretzels to give Doug. Because he actually would be really upset if I did not bring him because I can tell you that he like secretly eats pretzels at night.
Does
and
he
he's
really?
like, and I'm like, honey, you got to slow down on the pretzels.
It's a he can steal it. So just only a few.
Oh my God! Oh, he's gonna love this.
Yeah,
that's fair. I will tell him.
Thank you so
much. Oh, that's
much.
yum.
Yeah, thank you.
Yum.
Yum. It's so secret. It's such a secret that I have a microphone on and we're filming this. That's how secret it is. Okay. You know what's also very secret is exactly how Kamala Harris gets anyone to go to her rallies. Buses, actually. Kamala Harris is obsessed with school buses and busing. And Kamala Harris has to bus people into a rally, sometimes from over 4.5 hours away, like she did here in Savannah, Georgia. Here is in Detroit. Kamala Harris also has to depend on massive buses to get people into her rally. No, there's no telling where those buses actually come from. Yeah, but it's all authentic. It's all real. These are the reasons why you see the enthusiasm for Kamala Harris cratering through to the center of the earth. The honeymoon period officially over, says Frank Luntz, as President Trump takes a 7-point lead there in the prediction markets, along with the Rasmussen poll. Why would I show you all this? Well, because, the people who are supposed to be voting for Kamala Harris are rejecting her. And this has been, and it's kind of sad, but kind of a truth about Kamala Harris's life. She has had those closest to her reject her. This is very, very sad when it comes to the family perspective. Here is the top headline at the Daily Mail. Her radical Marxist dad lives a mile from the White House, but has never visited. He called her a travesty. Kamala's own father calls her a travesty. Here he is. Kamala Harris has never invited her father, Donald Harris. Her dad's named Donald. Donald. Another Donald will be invited to the White House. Actually, Donald Trump should invite this guy, the two Donalds, to the White House. He called her a travesty. He's embarrassed about her. And the visitor logs show that he has never been invited to the White House. Kamala Harris only ever talks about her mother, and Kamala Harris does that for a good reason. because Kamala Harris's father abandoned her at a young age. And I don't really understand. I don't know the story behind all of that, but what I do know is obviously that's going to lead to some strife between the parties. But can't you reconcile? Maybe, I don't know. Wouldn't you have the capacity to maybe, like, I don't know, to do something other than again, like performative speeches about your mom? Like, everyone was done hearing about Kamala Harris's mom, the DNC convention. But here, we didn't actually realize how far the rabbit hole goes.
Was a scientist, and her specialty was, in fact, breast cancer research. My mother had 2 goals in her life: to raise her 2 daughters to be productive and to end breast cancer. And part of what my mother would do is she would take us to work with her on the weekends. That without any burden, without feeling any weight of thinking that we must blindly adhere to tradition and accept things, knowing what can be unburdened by what has been.
There it is. That's a video. That's a video from 2020, just to let you know how long she has been monopolizing that statement. Okay. So Kamala Harris has a strange relationship with her father. She said that she was he said that she was a travesty when she joked about smoking pot, but ended up locking up. Here's a photo of them, right? 19-year-old cancer researcher from India. They married the following year, had Kamala in 1964 while living in Oakland. Her father was born in 1938 in Jamaica, birthplace of Bob Marley. Donald. Oh, Donald. So Donald's a communist and taught as a professor at Stanford, like many communists. One of his published communist works was dedicated to his daughters. Well, there you go. But I guess not. I guess his work lives on through Kamala Harris's actions. Kamala Harris slammed by Jamaican follower over pot smoking joke. She made a joke about smoking pot on the Breakfast Club.
Oppose legalizing weed.
That's not true.
I know.
and look, I joke about it, half joking. Half my family's from Jamaica. Are you kidding me?
Have you ever smoked?
I have.
Okay. Like in
And
college,
I inhaled. I did inhale. It was a long time ago.
Yeah, all right, got it. It was a long time ago, says Kamala Harris. It's really not that long ago that Kamala Harris was packing California prisons with pot peddlers. At least 1,500 people were sent to state prison for marijuana-related offenses. This is what got her dad so irritated about this. Her father called this a travesty. The elder Harris sent an unsolicited statement to Jamaica Global Online. My dear departed grandmothers, whose extraordinary legacy I described in a recent website, as well as my deceased parents, must be turning over in their graves now, seeing their family name, reputation, and proud Jamaican identity being connected in any way, jokingly or not jokingly, with a fraudulent stereotype of a pot-smoking joy seeker in the pursuit of identity politics. Speaking for myself and my immediate Jamaican family, we wish to categorically disassociate ourselves from this travesty. Oh, man. Oh, my gosh. I did not realize the statement was so savage. You know, it's also savage that Kamala Harris can't keep any staff. This is also just like a basic sign of, can people stand you? Now, I run a business. There's always going to be staff turnover, but not 90%. If you lose 90% of your staff, you know, people graduate on, they get out of the job offers. These are normal churn and burn in capitalist society. But like, if you lose 90% of the people who work for you, then that means you're just a horrible person. General Kamala Harris lost 90% of her staff. She's a soul-destroying workplace bully. And she is not jovial and not full of joy. She's a mean and nasty person, according to the people who work for her. 92% staff turnover rate, say critics. It has more to do with Kamala Harris than anybody else, says the experts. Yeah. They felt they weren't valued in a toxic workplace. She forced people to call her the general when she was the attorney general in California, which she won that position actually under very suspicious circumstances. Very suspicious indeed. Tulsi Gabbard, the most right person, calling out Kamala Harris for her fraudulence in her doing whatever she needs to get power and elected. My favorite moment in the debates. We look forward to the Trump-Kamala debates. Hopefully, we'll have a moment like this. Apparently, Tulsi Gabbard is helping coach Trump for this exact moment. Hope her dad's watching. Here we go.
I want to bring the conversation back to the broken criminal justice system that is disproportionately negatively impacting Black and brown people all across this country today. Now, Senator Harris says she's proud of her record as a prosecutor and that she'll be a prosecutor president, but I'm deeply concerned about this record. There are too many examples to cite, but she put over 1,500 people in jail for marijuana violations and then laughed about it when she was asked if she ever smoked marijuana. She blocked evidence. She blocked evidence that would have freed an innocent man from death row until the courts forced her to do so. She kept people in prison beyond their sentences to use them as cheap labor for the state of California. And she fought to keep cash bail system in place that impacts poor people in the worst kind of way.
Thank you, Congresswoman. Senator Harris.